Namaste everyone. Welcome to today's presentation. Our topic today is Vishwavallabh, a manuscript on Vrikshayurveda and water harvesting. It was written by Chakrapani, who worked under Maharana Pratap. Today our speaker is Ravi Singh Choudhary, who is a mechanical engineer by profession and an author of the book Krishi Sanhita. His interests include Indian traditions, Darshan Shastra, philosophy, and knowledge systems. So, Namaste, Raviji. Please welcome and please continue.
Namaste. Namaste, Samirji, and thank you for such a nice introduction. So, today's topic is related to nature. So, also World Environment Day is coming, the 5th June date. And this text is from the time of Maharana Pratap. Okay. And we all know that the Indian kings have their learned men in their darbar, like Varahamihir, like Aryabhatta, like Ashtavakra. So in the darbar of Maharana Pratap, we have Chakrapani Mishra. He wrote down the 3 manuscripts, and one that is specific to plant life sciences and water management related to water harvesting or finding groundwater. Okay. So the meaning of the text Vishwavallabh is dear to the world. Okay. Now, dear to the world is kind of thing like everyone likes being close to nature, to visit pleasure gardens, parks, and it is also the necessity. Okay. The finding the source of water and growing fruits and vegetation. So this is the text written long ago, more than 300 plus year ago. And today we will discover few shlokas from this text, and we will see how much this was primitive or it was advanced or somehow in between them. So the second shlok that I got here, the rejuvenation of tree after lightning strike. Lightning strike, Vajrapat, Bijli Girna jisko hum kehte hain. So here is a shlok that is telling ki how to rejuvenate a tree after a huge damage. Okay. In today's time, we go for pest management, okay, production enhancement, yield management. Okay. So these are the problems and we solve it. Now this text is dealing with like problem after the lightning strike. Even if you don't know the Sanskrit, let me just separate few letters or words from this shloka. Madhuka, that is mahua, mugdha, green gram, til sasame, ushira, vetiver, musta, madhu, honey, sita, vidari, til, nag, jihva, kumudvati. Those who are well versed with terms of Ayurveda or herbs, they know these herbs are very common in India. And at the last, Kand, Saival, lotus bulb, Kamal, Kaful. So somehow they are preparing some mixture out of these ingredients and using as a pest or as a sprinkling to the tree. So you see, they are regarding our trees this much कि इसको बिजली भी गिर गई है तो फिर भी इसको rejuvenate करना है, इसके किसी shoots को फिर से grow करना है. And immediately I judged the depth of this text. ये text कहाँ तक जा सकता है? So this text has more than 340 shlokas, having 9 chapters, dealing with from the first chapter groundwater discovery to plant wonders. Plant wonders. At the end of this session, we will go for what are the plant wonders. So let me share what is the Vrikshayurveda text and the meaning of the Vrikshayurveda. So Ayurveda is the Vigyan of Ayu, जो हम कहते हैं शतायु, 100 वर्ष की आयु अचीव करने के लिए जो भी हम मीन्स अपनाते हैं क्वालिटी लाइफ को बढ़ाने के लिए, वी कॉल इट आयुर्वेद. एक सिंपलेस्ट डेफिनेशन अगर हम कहें, आयु इज एज इन इंग्लिश. सो इट इज नॉट जस्ट कि हम सिम्टम्स को डील कर रहे हैं, क्योर कर रहे हैं डिजीज को. नो, वी वांट टू अचीव 100 years of age, quality life from the text Ayurveda. Now, what is Vrikshayurveda? The same framework of three dosh, Vat, Pitta, Kapha, when we apply to the Vriksha. Okay. Now, again, let me clarify the word Vriksha. There are many words in Sanskrit like Drum, Lata, Vanaspati, Vriksha, Gulm. Okay. They all are different. Vanaspati is like palm tree. Palm tree means there is no fruit, flowering, only fruiting. That is called Vanaspati. Drum, flowering plus fruiting, like tree of pomegranate. That is a drum. Lata is creeper. Okay. Gul are the bushes. And the vriksha are the proper trees. Trees को जो हम कहते हैं वृक्ष है, जिसकी एक कोई प्रॉपर हाइट है, बहुत छोटा नहीं होता है, हार्ड टू रीच है उसके फ्रूट्स. सो आयुर्वेद ऑफ वृक्ष, वृक्षानाम आयुर्वेदा इज द वृक्षायुर्वेद. In English, we can call it plant life sciences. Now, to deal with that subject, we have to go for these compartmental subjects: agriculture, botany, agrometeorology, geological sciences, ecology, soil sciences. Okay. Now, in today's world, we go for specialization. हम टुकड़ों में पढ़ते हैं, compartmental study करते हैं, but to have some wholesome view of the particular subject, we have to go through these subtopics. And again, we all know the role of nakshatra and jyotish, even in predicting the monsoon, predicting the right muhurt of planting a tree, harvesting the crop. So there should be a prerequisite knowledge of dravya guna and jyotish shastra. And if someone is going for jyotish shastra, he should have basic understanding of ganit, arithmetic. So इतने सारे subjects को जो command करता है, then he can understand what is Vrikshayurveda. Now, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. At microbial level or microscopic level, plant cell and animal cell don't have much differences. Difference of cell wall is there, but the cytoplasm or the constituents of a cell, either it is plant or animal, they are somehow similar. And even if we apply the Indic framework, the Panch Mahabhuta framework, we all are made up of Panch Mahabhuta, and so the plants. So Vat, Pitta, Kapha is the dosha of the combination of these Mahabhutas. So that's how the dosh of plant we can also categorize into Vat, Pitta, and Kapha. Like yellowing of leaves, it is called Vat. Decay of flowers and fruits you can categorize as a Pitta. And Kapha dosh, premature fruit ripening, tastelessness, fruit bearing delayed. Okay. And some other problems, those who are doing agriculture or orchard or gardening, they know the fungal infections, nematodes and viral infections, nutrient deficiencies. So you see, we can categorize into this three dosh framework. Now we don't have to deal with 50 plus problems one by one. If we understand what is the nature of the dosh, somehow we can draw parallel from Ayurveda to cure those dosha. Like Triphala, it is very much well known for curing our dosha. So even for the plants, for the trees, you can cure the pitta remedy using Triphala. Now the Kunapjal word is there to counter the Vata dosh. We will see what is Kunapjal. It is the advanced version of what you know, Jivamrit. Jivamrit is very much, again, well known, famous. Those who know ZBNF, zero budget natural farming, who know well known, the mixture of cow dung, cow urine, jaggery, and these ingredients. So we will see what is Kunapjal. And again, the cough remedy, to cure cough remedy, we have to remove the soil nearby the roots and again put fresh dry soil and sesame ash mixed water irrigation. Now, there is a fundamental difference between the dairy or the agriculture we do in India or in the West. Okay, so when I went to the studies of like how in ancient times we were doing farming and they were doing farming. So in West, they were using horses for the plowing, not the bull or the ox. And here we were not using our horses, we were using ox, bull, or even cow for the plowing for the agricultural purpose. There in the West, cow is reared for not just milk, but also for the meat, milk plus meat model. And in India, it is the basis of Ayurvedic medicines like ghee, panchagavya. Okay. So somehow our cattle was helping in agriculture, helping in medicines, medical sciences, and there it is only used for the milk and meat model. Now, when dairy white revolution happened in India, the country focused on how to raise the yield of the milk production. Okay. Now we brought the milching cows, Jersey, Holstein, and Friesian, but we didn't realize कि उसकी वैल्यू चेन बहुत अलग थी. हमने ऐसी गाय लाया जो मीट के लिए हम यहाँ नहीं कर सकते थे. आप मानवीय ह्यूमैनिटेरियन लगा लो या धार्मिक लगा लो, रिलीजियस लगा लो, हम वो चीज यूज नहीं कर सकते थे. Now there is difference in the value chain. Okay, कि हम कैसे वैल्यू क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. And we went for tractors. So use of ox and bull became obsolete, and somehow we crossbred the two cattle. Okay, Bos Taurus and Bos Indicus. So now let me tell you or remind you the shlok in our Shastra. गोमय वस्ते लक्ष्मी, लक्ष्मी का वास होता है काउ डंग, गोबर में. देयर इज नो श्लोक लाइक दुग्धे वस्ते लक्ष्मी, मिल्क में लक्ष्मी होती है. ओके, सो प्रॉस्पेरिटी काउ डंग में थी, प्रॉस्पेरिटी उसको यूज करने में थी. पूरा का पूरा फोकस हमने मिल्चिंग, मिल्क पे कर दिया, एंड ऐसे कैटल ब्रीड को किया जिसको हम मार नहीं सकते थे. तो somehow value chain distort हुआ और वो beneficial नहीं रहा. And again हम भूल गए कि our medical sciences is related very much to cow. So there is fundamental difference between these two breed. Now the Kunapjal, this is the solution that is repeated again and again in Vrikshayurveda, in Vishwavallabha, in Upvan Vinod. Okay, these are the texts related to some advanced kind of botany and agriculture. Okay, now Pantnagar University and Asian Agri History Foundation found this solution, and they mentioned the quantity of that ingredient. In any of the Ayurvedic text, either it is Charak Samhita, Susus Samhita, or even the Vrikshayurveda, the quantity of the ingredient is not mentioned. Why in the text? Because it should be variable depending on the type of soil, type of agroclimatic zone, type of the crop that we are doing. And if we mention the quantity of that particular ingredient, somehow people will do one fits for all. वो उसी को कॉपी करने लगेंगे, बार बार वही मिक्सचर को बनाने लगेंगे एंड सब जगह अप्लाई करने लगेंगे. तो आयुर्वेदिक टेक्स्ट में क्वांटिटीज स्पेसिफिकली मेंशन नहीं होती है. ठीक है. नाउ कुनपजल that they decided in and tried different combination of these ingredients. Somehow they logged the 10 ingredients, and it is called herbal Kunapjal, because Kunapjal can be of can use flesh, blood and bones also. Now many people will think कि ऐसे हमारे text में कैसे हो सकता है, but Ayurveda uses three sources as ingredient. One is the mineral resources, okay, from the soil, herbs, and the remnants from animals. This is the sourcing part of making the solution. So cattle dung 10 kg, cattle urine and 15 liter, and these cattle many prefer indigenous cow and open grazing cow. You cannot just bring a dung from a dairy. Okay, it should be grazing cow. Okay, cattle urine, jaggery, good in liquid form 2 liter. Sprouted urad, that is the black gram. Okay, specifically black gram is there, not another other kind of gram. And the oil cakes, you can use either mustard cake, neem cake, karanj cake. Karanj is Spongamia pinnata, sesame 2 kg. Boiled, cooled and filtered rice husk water. You have to boil the rice husk in 4, 5, 6, 10 liters of water. The husk quantity is 2 kg, and you have to filter it and cool it down. That water, we have to use that water. Buttermilk 2 liter, milk 1 liter. Of course, kacha milk, not the boiled milk. And from the indigenous cow, chopped local weeds. That is one of the beauty of herbal Kunapjal, that it is using the weed. Now, all over the world, farmers use herbicide, weedicide to kill the weeds, because it is getting the competitive advantage. They grow faster and they exhaust the nutrient from the soils, and consequently the main crop yields poor and they don't grow well. So somehow we have a tendency to remove the weeds. Now, if weeds are mining the nutrients from the soil, somehow we have to use and bring back that nutrients into the soil. So this fermented herbal Kunapjal is using 20 kg of chopped local weeds and water to fill the 200 liter container, and you have to wait for 15 days. 15 days you have to mix it per day, and in 15 days the solution, it would have some foul smell. Okay, that's why it is called kunap. Kunap is in Sanskrit, it is durgandh. जब जैसे हम कहते हैं कि डेड बॉडी है या कोई एनिमल है तो उससे दुर्गंध आती है, that's the foul smell would come. So somehow if there is no aeration in the water and foul smell is coming, already your Kunapjal is prepared. And this is the one of the most advanced form of liquid fertilizer that I have used. I have used Panchagavya, Amrit Jal, Amrit Pani, Jivamrit, many of these solutions, and the result that I got from the herbal Kunapjal was way better, because it is a kind of chemical solution prepared out of herbs and natural materials. Okay, so it acts as a chemical liquid fertilizer. Now, I have told you, like, there are more than 340 shlokas, verses in this text Vishwavallabh, and few are like they are mentioning out of season fruiting, prolonged fruiting and flowering, seedless fruit, producing naturally colored cotton, recovering sweetness of the fruits. Now the fourth one is like even fascinating to all of us. We have never heard ki cotton, we use dye, we use color for the in the later stage while we do textile, but can we grow colored cotton? And we are not genetically modifying it, we are not doing something like a hybrid seed or making some another kind of seed. We are just using some mixture like Kunapjal into the soil, and we are getting colors like light blue, green, red. These colors we can get out of the variations of liquid fertilizers, prolonged fruiting and flowering, out of season and fruiting. Now, first two are very much commercially viable for a farmer, those who are doing commercial farming. Okay, because out of season, we know the rate of fruits are higher. So in the world, we talk a lot about poverty, hunger, getting higher yield, and we are guzzling with fertilizers and many of the external outputs out of factories. Okay, but can we do it naturally? Okay, organically? Natural farming and organic farming are not very much famous for giving high yield. Okay, or if they are giving higher yield, if they did farming for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, when the organic carbon of your soil increases, practicing permaculture, natural farming, organic farming, after a stage you get better yield, we all know. But can we fasten this process using some solution? And again, recovering sweetness of the fruits. Now, quality of fruits also decide the pricing of the fruits. So these verse number 9.18, 9.13, the 9th chapter is for plant wonders. And if I could explain कि उसमें क्या है, अगर हम बात करें producing sweet fruits using jaw, yava, barley, basically use of the barley, ghee, the fresh clarified butter, and bidanga. And now bidanga is used even today for children, for deworming. पेट में जो हम कहते हैं कीड़ा स्टोमक में, तो deworming के लिए आयुर्वेदिक सॉल्यूशन है बिदंगा. Why bidanga? So combination of sugar cane juice, barley, ghee, and vidanga, we can have sweeter fruits. Okay? For prolonged fruiting, again, use of bidanga is there. Oil cake is there. Now the oil cake, either mustard cake, sesame cake, neem cake, they contain good percentage of NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. And again, they are like good pest repellent. Okay, the insects and the worms. Okay, so these are actually the wonders, and not just in Vishwavallabh, the text written thousands of years ago, like Surapala Vrikshayurveda, that text also mentioning these things. Even the dwarfing of a plant, जो हम कहते हैं bonsai plant, तो dwarfing भी आपको इस text में मिल जाती है. So people were doing these kind of advanced botany and agriculture even in the ancient time. And the water harvesting part, 7 types of cooper, that is well, 6 types of sarovar, lakes, 4 types of pond, and construction of dam as per the topography or the requirement, not that huge dam of mortar and bricks, but kind of check dams and dams that could be required in that particular geographical location. So chapter 1 was for finding the groundwater sources. So that chapter is also mentioning the kind of currents, water currents, geological terms, topography. ये जो technical terms से कहते हैं, ये सारे mention है. Chapter 2 में water reservoirs हैं, and water reservoirs में ये kinds हैं, and salinity कैसे खत्म करे, acidity of water, how to get the water of pH near or closer to 7, how to use the ash, how to use the bhasma. These things are there in chapter 2. And after chapter 2, the proper agriculture explanations are there. So from my side, this is all about today's presentation. And let me tell you one more thing. Industrial revolution is not more than 300 years old. Okay, and even the conservative dating, if we consider for Bharatiya civilization, Bharatvarsh, it is at least 10,000 years. Okay, conservative timeline dating. So 9,700 years without industrial revolution, and we claim 1/3 of GDP of the world in ancient times. So many of the industry, like you are using ox and horses, and fodder is coming from agriculture. So fuel of your economy, the logistic is agriculture. Jute is coming from, again, uh, as a packing material. Textile, cotton is coming from agriculture. Liquor, fragrance, aroma, cosmetics, these all are natural. Spices, food, even the tobacco. So more than 10 plus industries are directly dependent on agriculture. So our agriculture, how it can be unstructured. Okay, it should have a proper text, proper methodology that can be repeated, that can be replicated, and we can get a particular result following this set of steps. Okay, set of steps. So that is the scientific way of doing things. So we have like text coming from Sukta coming from Atharva Ved, Agni Puran, Vrikshayurveda, Vishwavallabha, Upvan Vinod, Krishi Gita, Kashyap Krishi Shukti, Krishi Parashar. Okay, dozens of texts related to agriculture. We all have this. And the text, Vrikshayurveda, it was brought not more than 20 years ago from the UK's Bodleian Library. Weil Nene, the legend, who brought that text Vrikshayurveda and established Asian Agri History Foundation. And then the research on Vrikshayurveda went on, and right now I'm not doing any academic work on these shlokas. Actually, we are using in our farms and getting results. So this is all for today. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ravi ji. That was a wonderful presentation. And now we will open the floor for any questions. So please raise your hand if you want to ask a question, or you can type your question in the chat window. I will ask you the first question, Ravi ji, regarding this Vishwavallabh. So it was, for a long time, it was dormant, and maybe because all the evidences or all the documents moved to UK. And was it a chance encounter that this document was found in the UK?
No, Vishwavallabha was brought back even before independence. Okay, the Vrikshayurveda, the original Vrikshayurveda text from the Surapala, it was brought back not more than 20-30 years ago. It was mentioned like Vikram Samvat 1925. That is the year when Vishwavallabha came back to India.
So right now, you are implementing everything from Vishwavallabha, or you're trying to implement them in your farms, which are in contact with you, I guess.
Yeah, I have formed a community. Many were experimenting on Vrikshayurveda shlokas. So Kunapjal, we have mastered it. Like this is the one of the best solutions. So we are using it regularly, and there are other additives also there. So till now we are only focused on Kunapjal, herbal Kunapjal.
KNSG, please go ahead.
Yeah, namaste. I'm joining this call from California.
Thank you.
So I would like to know, we have a couple of citrus trees here. I would like to know how I can increase the yield on the citrus trees, because my lemon tree is not giving fruits that are really juicy and tasty. How do I improve the
That means pitta dosh, means tastelessness and not juicy. That is the pitta dosh. So now these all are handmade solutions. So Kunapjal is there, a spray of honey, a spray of raw milk, and even you can use the barley powder with the water or the panchagavya. These are the solutions we can use to cure that.
So is
But
this for
somehow
all
in
citrus
California, yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
For
No,
all,
there is no category like for citrus seed, there is something different, or non-citrus, we have to do something different, because somehow we are not dealing with 40-50 problems. We are only focusing on vata, pitta, and kapha. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how we see. Triphala we can also use. Immediately you can use the honey. You just dilute your honey and you can spray it, because it will attract the honeybee. Flowering is very much important before getting tasty fruit. Okay, so
Okay.
lots of flowering, it should happen when there is more of honeybees.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions, you can raise your hand or ask it in the chat window.
Namaste.
Saugandhiji, please go ahead.
Yeah, Namaste, Saugandhi here. I just want one generic question. Are any of these techniques implemented by the agricultural colleges across the country?
Not across the country, but few colleges are there. Pantanagar University, of course, they are doing it. And few universities in Gujarat, Karnataka, and Maharashtra.
Okay. Because the NEP should provide freedom for this to move on to every university, I thought. Because
Yes. On the date of 16th December last year, Honorable Prime Minister announced for natural farming. Okay. Now, first time after post-independence, we are seeing like policy change. Okay. So the approach of farming, it is being shifted to the organic and the natural one, because exports में हमारे products को रोका जा रहा है, issues हो रहे हैं. We have not quality produce for the exporting to all of the countries. So somehow we are going for natural and organic farming. And from last 2-3 months, there is a committee that is they are doing syllabus making for the colleges.
Thank you for this informative session. And for those who would like to watch the recording of this, we are going to publish it on our YouTube channel. It's Indic Studies Toronto. I have put the link in the chat window. We have a Facebook group and a WhatsApp group also. You can join them. And thank you again, Raviji, and thank you for the audience for participating. We look forward for you to attend the next session. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.